Hello and welcome to video number 4 in the Demystifying Music Theory series. Today we're going to be looking at the third chord group in our study of music theory. It's the black-white-black group. To remember the chords in the black-white-black group, we can use the same memory aid that we used in group number 2. It's the word aid, but spelled A-D-E. So the basic triads are the triads ACE, DFA, and DGB. That's from our original list of 7 triads. But this is the black-white-black group, so we're going to put flats on the first and fifth tones of each of these basic triads. When we put the flats on the first and fifth notes of the basic triad ACE, we get the A-flat chord. A flat, C, E flat. When we put the flats on the first and fifth notes of the basic triad DFA, we get the D flat chord, D flat, F, A flat. And when we put the flats on the first and fifth notes of the basic triad EGB, we get the E flat chord, E flat, G, B flat. So the 3 black-white-black chords are the A-flat chord, spelled A-flat, C, E-flat, the D-flat chord, spelled D-flat, F, A-flat, and the E-flat chord, spelled E-flat, G, B-flat. Let's review the first 3 chord groups for a moment, all 3 of them. There are 3 chords in each group. There was the white chords, and those are the chords C, F, and G. The C chord is spelled C-E-G. The F chord is spelled F-A-C. The G chord is spelled G-B-D. Those original triads are going to remain the same. There's no sharps or flats on those 3 chords. Those are the white group. And then the second group was the white chords. Those are the chords, and there's our memory aid again for group number 2, same as group 3, A, D, and E. Aid, the word aid, spelled A-D-E. So thinking about that, now we need to spell the chords. The A chord is spelled A, C sharp, E. This is the white group. The A chord is spelled A, C sharp, E. The D chord is spelled D, F sharp, A, and the E chord is spelled E, G sharp, B. The 3 black chords are the chords we just looked at the beginning of this lesson, and they are the chords A flat, D flat, E flat. And there again is our memory aid, A-D-E, but this is the third group, black. So those 3 chords are spelled like this. The A-flat chord is spelled A-flat, C, E-flat. The D-flat chord is spelled D-flat, F, A-flat. And the E-flat chord is spelled E-flat, G, B-flat. So you can see how important it is to really have down the 7 original triads, the ACE, BDF, EGB, DFA. Those 7 original triads are essential to have in your mind, so that you don't have to, you can think of each one of those as one thing, and you automatically know what those 3 notes are, so that when you want to add your sharps and flats, all you have to do is think of that first, or think of that original one of the 7 triads, whichever one it is, and you won't have to wonder about what the actual letters are. You'll only have to worry because you already know that by just having it in your short-term memory, and then putting on the flats, and in this case on the first and fifth tones of those chords, becomes the only thing really that you have to do to make those chords be spelled appropriately. So in each of these groups, if you remember, we arrange them in a key signature which puts the chords of each group into a 1-4-5 progression. And that is the most commonly used progression in music. That way we can practice these chords musically without changing groups. We can practice the 1-chord, 4-chord, 5-chord, mix them up any way that we want, and they'll sound musical. And we don't have to worry about drawing chords from another group at this point. And we can get them learned faster that way by using only the chords from each group. So in today's group, A flat, D flat, and E flat, we're going to do the same thing. We designate the A flat as the 1 chord, and that puts us in the key signature of A flat. So the 1 chord in the key of A flat is the chord A flat. The 4 chord in the key of A flat is D flat. A, B, C, D, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, D flat. And the 5 chord in the key of A flat is E flat. A, B, C, D, E flat. And there it is. So remember I said way back in lesson 1, there are 2 number systems to keep straight when talking music theory. Notice that what I just said about the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord is using the number system that relates to the key signature. In this case, A flat. We're using the 1, 4, and 5 chords in the key of A flat. Those numbers, 1, 4, and 5, are, in this case, dealing with the key signature. I remember when I taught this material to one of my piano students when she was in junior high, and I gave her piano lessons for several years. And in doing the piano lessons, we discussed music theory, just the way that I'm showing it to you. Well, 4 years later, she was in college in her first year music theory class, and she was the only one in the class answering questions the professor was putting forth. And after the class, several students came up to her and said, "How do you know this stuff?" And she answered exactly the way that I told her to when people would ask. She just smiled. She could have tried to explain, but they probably wouldn't have understood. Hopefully, as they made their journey through college, that music theory became a language that they understood. But a lot of people don't make it that far. So hang in there and you will get it. Music theory is a language, and it's learned the same way that you learn anything, through study, through repetition, and through desire. Now, to quickly review first, our study today is the black, white, black group, the chords A flat, D flat, and E flat. And second, our memory aid for these 3 chords is the same as group 2, the word A, D, E, aid. Those are the first letters of each chord in the black, white, black group. The triads, if we just pulled them from the list of 7 basic triads that we learned in lesson 1, are the triads ACE, DFA, and EGB. And third, using those triads from our list of 7, the triads in lesson 1 just add flats to the first and fifth notes of these triads. When we add the flats to the first and fifth notes to get our basic triads in this group, we get the A flat chord, spelled A flat C E flat, the D flat chord, spelled D flat F A flat, and the E flat chord, spelled E flat G B flat. Now that's it for video number 4. Before we study the last chord group, the odd group, I thought it would be a good thing to do a really quick review video of the 3 groups we've studied so far. That way, if someone has to step away from the study for a time, or is just feeling like their brain is going to explode, they can go to one separate video that will just review the information from videos 1 through 4 with a very, very minimal explanation, because they'll already know kind of what's going on. So video number 5, the next video, will be a quick review of videos 1 through 4. So until I see you in video 5 or video 6, if you want to skip the review, blessings to each of you, and keep making music.